What is up, guys? Pittsburgh White Shorts back again with another deck tech. So today we're going to do an oldie but a goodie. We're going to do Nisekoi, or False Love. So we're doing... Yeah, Nisekoi. So I got me and Andy's here with me. So this is like the there are two like main big builds of Nisekoi. There's like the Sweets build, which is just like the Onodera sisters. And then there's like the build that uses more of the main set. And since this is English, we don't have access to the super crazy broken stuff. But I'm going to start this out a little different than we normally do because I think it's important to go over these first. So this is like the main part of the deck is this event. So they're both 1/1 events. They're both called Promise Pendant. So there's like 3 or 4 of them. You can only run 4. Yeah, there's one for each color. I don't believe yellow's in the set. It might be. But this one is America 1. So it's rest 2 standing characters, salvage 2 characters, goes to memory. And then this is a 1/1 3K backup. But because it's an event, you can also play it on your turn. So, and they both go to memory. And when they're in memory, they cause your other cards to have additional effects. So yeah, so we're running 2 of the America ones and 2 of the Kosaki ones. I guess I should say Kosaki instead of just Onodera because her sister is a character that exists. So all right, moving on to zeros. We start with 3 of this oversized. So if your opponent has 3 or less characters on their stage, she's a 3,500. And then also, if you have 2 or more Promise Pendants in memory, it's just pay 1, search a key character. So it's just a pay 1 search later in the game. No, don't have to discard. It's just pay 1 search. This card's like really, really powerful as just an oversized. This has utility later in the game.
Is it what? It's 35 if they have 3 or more.
If they have 3 or less.
3 or less.
And it's 0, like that's forcing your opponent to overextend to make it small. I believe that's only on your opponent's turn though.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah, during your opponent's turn. So, and then going forward, we have sort of the opposite. If you have 5 or more cards in hand, this swings for 4K, but only on your turn. So these are kind of like your beaters. It is an older set, so, it's missing a lot of that utility. Nisekoi probably has like the closest to modern utility of any of the older sets.
Surprisingly good stuff.
Moving on, we have this Brainstormer. The first effect is when she attacks, she can give another character 1,000. So it's a pretty good secondary effect if you like have to swing with it early. There's no like clean cuts or ways to like cut it back though. But then there's also the Brainstorm effects just as rest 2 search Brainstorm. So pretty standard Brainstorm effect. Move these over here. So last Brainstorm, this is our 4th Brainstorm. It is a spammable power Brainstorm, but that's not the main reason we run it. We run it because when a character becomes reversed, you can give another character 1,000 power. So it has like disruption on your opponent's turn where you can like make lanes successively bigger as things get reversed. So it's a pretty techy card.
What's your lineup of Climaxes? You have gold bars, right?
Yeah, so it's gold bar. I was going to get into that with the next card. It's gold bar Gate. Which is why we're running 2 ditch Climax filters, just because like the set is older, selective filter is like harder to come by. So ditch Climax filter when you're running a bar is pretty good. And it also has Surveil on play, so not bad for a filter card. In terms of other filter cards, we're also running 3 green drop searchers, mostly to fix us for green. It's just a very generic 2,500 drop searcher. All right, last cards here at 0. So these are our Promise Pendant filtering cards. So this America is on play, scry 1, and then also pay 1, salvage a Promise Pendant. This is, the Raku is ditch a card, salvage a Promise Pendant. So you have a costed and costless way to get them back into your hand. And then this is also like a global 500. So,
That's pretty cool. I like the scry effect on the America. Is she a box topper?
Yeah, Mini America. She's a box topper promo.
Sounds like money.
Yeah, you need to get these into your memory as quickly as possible. Not only for compression, but also like activate some of these effects and stuff like that. So just really important. So I think this is like 3, 5, 9, 11, 13, 14, 17. 17 zeros.
Pretty standard.
So, pretty standard lineup. So the one card I am missing, I have never been able to get my hands on it at a reasonable price. The Chitoge 0 bomb that's also a runner. I think she can run to center lane, like Carmen or something like that. But a lot of people run that too.
That seems like a good one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Moving on to level 1s. So this is where the set starts to show its age. This is America Climax combo with the gate on reverse salvage. She only goes to 6K. This is like a big reason why, it's an older set. People aren't playing it. Level 1 advantage combos kind of on the weaker side. Can be a little frustrating, especially when most on reverse stuff goes to like 7-5 and whatnot these days.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be like... It's not like a reason to not play the set.
Yeah.
At least you have a plussing combo, and usually 6K is going to be...
Yeah, it's like not bad,
6K
right?
6K and 7K are kind of like the same when you're swinging, unless they're running backups a lot of times.
Rounding out our level 1, we also have this. So this is a just a level 1 reverser, but if you have a single promise pendant in memory, it's also top check filter. If it's a key character, add to hand, pitch a card. So it just has more filter, and it's also a bomb. Since you're an older set, you might have to clear big things at level 1, so you don't have a lot of access to power. Just a good way to help you sort of win field and filter your hand at the same time. Also, we're running 3 of this Kosaki. So this has 500 power for each of your other key or sports characters, but everything's a key character. So she sits at 6K, and then she also has Clock Encore. So this is your way to like sort of hold field at the expense of like your own health, basically. Your game plan, you're going to be like early playing, and you're also playing an early play healer, so like taking extra damage at 1 isn't that big of a deal if you're going to hold field, but again, it only hits 6K. So, this is basically what you're trying to protect with your 3K Onodera backups.
Yeah.
So you're going to be like red-blue at 1.
I mean, you probably need that for the blue fix, too.
Yeah.
For your promise, for your blue pendants.
For your blue pendants, yeah. Hitting blue is definitely the most frustrating color to hit in the list, but like this as a payoff card being in blue is just way too strong. So 1/1 3K backup that goes to memory, just like exceedingly strong card. All right.
I have a comment on that at the end.
Sure.
But, keep going.
I will choose. So we play this. This is an anti-early play sack counter. Pay overall 3, sack a character on your field. But it's a waiting room. So 3 is really steep, especially for this deck. Like all old decks, there is a stock crunch, especially at level 2. But anti-change is strong. Anything that says sack a character on your turn is strong. It's a good thing to threaten. And it's got funny art, so she's a ghost.
I mean, like, just being able to threaten an anti-change backup is sometimes good enough, even if it's like a waiting room one.
Yeah.
And hey, worst case scenario, you can just use it as a normal backup too for 25.
Or as a sack counter too. Like sack counter is just really strong. We're also running this card, another payoff card for blue. So this is 5 or less cards in deck on play free fresh. And then also has act, rest 2 of your standing characters, give a character 2,000. Or I think it's choose one of your characters, give it 2,000 power. So she can buff herself, she can buff something else. If you were going into free fresh and you don't want to brainstorm on your next deck, you're probably having 2 things standing in your back row anyway. So it's a good way to just sort of get extra power in free fresh. These 2/1 5 or less free freshes aren't as common.
Good. I wish they would print those again.
They aren't as common anymore, but these are very, very strong, especially the 2
years, dude.
Yeah, especially the 2/1 7K. So these are really strong. Like I said, blue is like one of the more frustrating colors, but you want to hit blue at 1, so you're probably going to have it going into level 2.
My comment I was going to make later was I was wondering how much blue you ran. Like, is it worth running blue?
Yeah.
And I guess that might be a reason to splash into it. But
lastly at 2, so this is actually a 3K 2/1 3K backup that is also a change, and it changes into our level 3 combo card, which is this Kosaki, which is on play heal. If you didn't change into it, if you hard played it, you have to rest a character. So you want to change into this, and the change cost is pay 2, pitch a card, sack this. So like really high cost to get this out.
But the
combo is really good. So it's a combo off this bar. And it's just on attack, search 2 key characters. So you're thinning your deck.
There's not even cost. I love it.
Yeah, it's just on attack, search 2, which is really strong. And it's going to heal you at level 2. So it's just a really, really strong play. And the fact that when you're grabbing this card back, it's a 3K backup.
Yeah.
So
that was like the funnest thing.
If it's better for you to protect something on your field versus try to early play another copy and heal, you have that option. So it's like, it's really unique that it's a 3K counter that also changes. So you don't have to feel bad about holding on to it or stuff like that if you somehow whiff the change or something. It's just a really steep cost. Because if you want to do 2 of these, you need to have 6 stock, which is like really rough with this deck going into level 2. So just something to keep in mind. I'm going to leave these Kosakis here.
I find that the deck really pops off when you can get like 2 of these combos off back to back.
Yeah.
And you just plus super hard and you
just like thinning out your deck, yeah. So also as an early play, we have this. So this is a draw 2, ditch 1 on play. It's 6 or more Climax is in grave early play, which is like not a great condition. But like I said, it's draw 2, ditch 1, and then it also sits at 10-5. So it's just sort of a way to dig. And I'm going to be honest, mostly running it in this deck because I have the sign. But it does it's good to have dig because outside of that, your level 3s do not. And sometimes you're not a good enough player to draw bar. So, it is what it is. Lastly, we have Gimped America. She's not as good as JP America. She's just on play, check top. If it's a key character, burn 1. And then when other characters get reversed, she gains 1,000 power, I believe. Either that or she can give another character 1,000 power. No, she can choose a character, so even better. So when a character that's not her becomes reversed, you can give another character 1,000. So at your end game, sort of, you can kind of steamroll that. She burns 1 on play. You top check for a key character.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just a free ping 1, and then you can sort of play a disruption game where your opponent reverses 1 lane and another lane gets super huge, and you also have a 3K backup and stuff like that. So you're playing power walling, where you're trying to bait your opponent into reversing something small first so that you can make one of your other lanes completely unreversible, which is sort of like the gimmick of these 2 cards. But yeah, that's about it. So quickly, I'll go over the climaxes. We're running 4 America Gates, which are for our level 1, and then 4 bars. So yeah, it's a little bit, especially compared to other older decks. You have a level 1 and a level 2 combo, and then you're sort of trying to stall out the game and win board with backups and stuff like that, whether it's Promise Pendant or your sack counter backup or your Kosaki backups. So
I think the Climax split is probably one of the reasons the deck is still
2 plussing triggers.
2 plussing triggers is pretty nice.
And I was saying that there aren't great filter tools, but the fact that they have filter tools like ditch a climax, salvage a character, ditch a card, get into Promise Pendant, stuff like that, kind of helps the deck keep going throughout the game. But 2 plussing triggers is a big reason why the deck is still popular. So yeah,
smiling faces.
Yeah, I think that's about it for the deck. Like always, guys, we're trying to get a deck tech out for every deck that exists in English. So if you want to see a specific one next, let us know. And also, I don't think we've mentioned it before, but you've probably seen their playmat and stuff in some of our videos. We record a lot of these deck techs and a lot of our content at Heroes Inc. Comics in Pittsburgh, PA. We're about 5 minutes out from the airport, so if you're ever in town or you want to check that out, definitely hit them up. They sell all sorts of Weiss product and product for other TCGs too, so definitely stop in and give them a look if you're in town. And yeah, I think that's it. So Pittsburgh White Schwartz signing off.